All right, so today we're going to recap on the multiple linear regression modeling section of the course. It was a fun section. We learned a lot, actually built a robust model, and I really hope you enjoyed the tutorials in this section. And before we do recap and continue, I wanted to ask you for a quick favor. If you're enjoying the course so far, if you like what you're seeing, and if you're having fun and you're learning a lot, then I hope you don't mind leaving a review for this course. It's very easy to do. You just go to the course. You have to go to the course on a computer. I don't think you can do this on mobile. In the top right corner, there's a button here, write a review. It might be called leave a rating. It might be highlighted in white. So all you have to do is click that button, and then a window will pop up where you can select the number of stars you think this course deserves. And that's totally enough for me. But if you want to write a small note, then please feel free to do so, to let me know how I went with this course, and if your expectations were met and if you had fun or not. And I really hope you can do that. It would mean a lot for me. And now let's continue on with the course. All right, section recap. In this section, we learned, number 1, how to create dummies for categorical independent variables. We went through the whole process of how you look at the categories, you create new columns, you populate them with ones and zeros, and then you use the categories instead of the actual categorical variable in your modeling. Number 2 was how to avoid the dummy variable trap. Remember that you can't, for any set of dummy variables, for one given categorical variable, you can't use all of these dummy variables. You have to always omit one. Otherwise, your model won't work and you'll fall into the dummy variable trap. We don't want that to happen. So just remember that always use n-1 dummy variables for any given set of dummy variables. Number 3, we learned the backward, the forward, the bidirectional, and the all possible methods of creating models. The all possible method here is the one where you create all of the models and then you just compare them and you find the best one. So we actually went through step-by-step blueprints for every single one of these methods, and hopefully you can take them away, and whenever you need to reference them, you will know exactly where to find them, or you will already know how to perform these methods. Number 4, we actually built a model step by step, and you can see that I'm very proud of that. I put 2 exclamation marks. Step by step, we actually manually built a model using the backward elimination method, and we learned a lot along the way. We had variables that dropped out, variables that changed their significance, variables that we didn't want to drop out. We looked at charts. It was personally, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed explaining it to you. I hope you learned a lot from that part of the course. Next, we learned how to use the adjusted R-squared in modeling. So we actually learned how to not only bluntly follow our significance level threshold, but also apply a criteria, in this case the R-squared metric, to understand if we're on the right track through our modeling, and that helps create more robust models and not just blindly exclude or include variables just because the rules say so. And finally, point number 6, we learned how to interpret coefficients of a multiple linear regression model. Once again, there was a tip there that use per units of variable, per units of independent variable, per units of dependent variable, and that will keep you out of trouble, because that way you don't have to make sure that the variables are on the same scale. If you start talking about dollars, kilometers, or actual absolute values, then you have to make sure that your units are on the same scale. And one last point there is that this interpretation method works for multiple linear regression. Later on in the course, we'll be talking about logistic regression. Interpretation there is different. So just keep that in mind. Hope you enjoyed this section. Don't forget to rate the course if you haven't done so yet. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next section of the course. Until then, happy analyzing.